Hello, my name is Amy if you're brand new to my channel, and welcome back to another review video. This is my Chanel Gabrielle hobo bag in the smallest size available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many quilts you get at the top there, and that's the size that I have it in. This video is going to be an updated review of this bag. I did buy this one back in March last year. I think I bought it late March, so it's pretty much a year, almost a year that I've had this bag, and I have used it quite a bit. I really loved grabbing for it. Very quickly, the height of the bag is 6 inches. The width is about 8 inches. The depth is about 3 inches, and I measured the base. And the strap drop, like this, is about 16 inches. Of course, you can make it super long, but I'm not going to measure that because that's going to be pretty much too long for most people. For me, it almost goes down to my knees. It's not as ridiculous as you think though. I do like wearing it that way, and I'll explain how and why. All the colored hardware, it's really cool. Like, this bag is just amazing in terms of aesthetics. It just really works for me. I know that there's a lot of people that are not a fan of the Gabrielle, and I'm totally okay with that. You're obviously entitled to your opinion, and that's perfectly fine, but I'm doing this review for the people who are really attracted to this bag and who are still wondering whether it's worth it, whether they want it, whether they should take the plunge. Those of you who are kind of on the fence but want to know more, I'm doing this review, an updated review for you. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it or anything. I just don't see any wear and tear. I see a lot of dust. Dust tends to like to collect on the edges over here. I don't even bother cleaning it anymore just because it just collects there. Once in a while I'll just try to, you know, get rid of it, but it just likes to collect there. It's just like the micro dust, the micro little pieces of white flakes. It just goes there. There are times where I lightly bump my bag against things and people, and I look back at it at the end of the day and I really don't see anything wrong with it. And that's pretty amazing, considering my main concern at the beginning was the base. Because it is a harder surface, it is a smooth surface, I thought this would be the first place to go to get all the wear and tear and scratches and whatnot. But honestly, I really don't see any. So in my experience, it's definitely a lot more durable and a lot more tough and carefree than I ever thought. I have seen some that are really wrecked online on Fashionably, and I'm not too sure why. Those people might have put that bag through the ringer. I just don't really know what they might have done. Maybe they tried to deliberately destroy it. I'm not too sure. But honestly, if you're someone who's just semi-careful and you do look after your bag, you store them properly, you'll be fine. This bag can be kind of under the radar if you don't know it, because you don't always see the Chanel brand because it's on the zipper. Sometimes it just sits on top. You don't really see it right away. Sometimes it's not really on the right side. The shoulder strap does sometimes tend to fall. Not on its own when it's all twisted like this. When I do straighten everything out, and you can clearly see the individual straps, once in a while one of the chains might fall off. Or if I had a coat that was very slippery, then, you know, that can also happen. So that might be just one thing that I noticed that is a con, but it doesn't really bother me. I mean, shoulder straps always fall on all my other bags anyway. Well, not always, but they do fall once in a while, so I just rearrange it. In my initial review, I also mentioned that I probably wouldn't end up wearing like the 12 billion ways that you can wear this bag. But it turns out that other than my favorite way, which is the most standard way of wearing it, I really enjoy wearing it the V way. And not because it looks cool, obviously it does. When I need to be hands-free, I either toss it to the back or to the front if I want to make sure that nobody is trying to stick their hands in it. It's just such a comfortable way. It doesn't really fall off or anything like that. In fact, this is probably one of the most secure ways. But not only that, my favorite feature of this bag also is that at any time and point, if I want to make it super long and just remove one side and let it go. There are scenarios where it's super handy, especially if you're just a passenger. A lot of times I don't really want to remove the V, or I don't really want to remove my crossbody bag, but sometimes when they sit too high up on your body, even when it sits on hip level, it's hard to put the seatbelt on. With this one I can just loosen it all the way and put my seatbelt, and my bag is sitting on my lap, and when you're ready you just put it back on your shoulder and you get out of the car. I don't think that they really designed it with this function in mind, but it turns out to be something that I really enjoy doing. It's such a convenient feature. Sometimes I even do wear it really long because it looks very, very nice with a longer coat. One of the questions that I got asked was whether I think this bag is gonna become a classic and whether it will keep its value. I will say this: if you buy this size, the mini size or the small size, in the full black version, so whether you buy this classic version with the distressed calf, or there's also the chevron, and sometimes they also have like the shiny chevron or the shiny leather. Also, in my opinion, this size, the small size or the mini size, will keep its value the best. That's just my opinion. I feel like if anybody were to resell the Gabrielle bag, it would be the size up or any of the larger sizes, because with the larger sizes, the wear and tear on those is pretty significant. It's just so much more easy to damage a larger bag because it's so much easier to bump into someone or things. Additionally, number two is with the distressed calfskin, let's say, with the larger, more surface of this softer texture, it's so much more prone to all the creases and the crumbling, which essentially makes the larger sizes not as desirable in the secondhand market. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend you buy this bag just based on the resale value. I would highly recommend you to consider this bag if you just think that you love it. There's something about the style that you find attractive, then get it. But of course, if you're also worried about resale value and just those things in general, then do consider getting it in black, all black, and also do consider getting it in the smaller sizes. As far as whether I think this is going to be a classic, it's so hard to tell because, I mean, did anybody think that the boy bag would become a classic? I don't know. Some people might have, but maybe they were just lucky, or maybe it just makes sense because it's a flat bag. It's hard to tell, but personally, I just feel like the Gabrielle bag is a well-made bag. Therefore, in my opinion, whether Chanel should keep making the Gabrielle bag and make it into a classic, I think they should, but maybe just in the mini size and the size up from this, because those are probably the best, most proportionate sizes. I mean, to me this is my favorite, but the size up is, you know, it's kind of okay, especially if you're a lot taller. I'm petite, so I definitely prefer this size, but if you're a lot taller and your stature is, you know, much stronger and you can pull off the larger size, then I think these two sizes would probably become classic. Yeah, I do think so. This bag fits so much for me. It fits my camera, it fits everything essential. It fits my glasses, which are sitting right there on top. You can't really expand the bottom part, but as long as you're able to fit your things in a certain way, and for me it's standing up usually, and the last thing is the glasses going on top horizontally, it works out perfectly. And I'll show you guys at the end what I fit inside. This small opening was a concern, and I think it would be a concern for a lot of people who might think that the opening is small, and I have a thing with small opening. I actually really dislike my Speedy 25 because of that reason, but with this I'm not as bothered. In fact, I'm not that bothered at all. It boils down to the size of the bag, I think, for me. When the bag is small but well laid out with a generous enough opening, I mean, this is generous enough for me. It fits the same amount as my mini Coco handle, which is a bit more than my rectangular mini. For me, it's easy to get in and out of it. You just have to play a little bit of Tetris, but it's not It's not super complicated. It's not one of those things where you have to try to find something at the bottom of a bag. It's not like that. Aside from my sunglasses, so I removed my sunglasses from the top, everything else is super easy to reach. In terms of the layout inside and the material, I have nothing bad to say about it except for one thing. So with the mini size, you also get this piece over here, which is essentially a clip where you can clip onto your keys and I don't know, just whatever. I feel like this is actually taking up space in my bag, and I always have to tuck it inside one of the side pockets. This is what I do. I never use it. So I don't see the point of having this. They could totally remove this and I wouldn't feel like I lost anything. If it was the larger size or the even larger size, sure. But with this tiny size, you really don't need it. It's really just getting in the way. Other than that, I really don't think there's anything else that I mind about it. Maybe it's slightly heavy, just because there's a lot going on. There's chains, there's a hard base. I saw Sophie Showhead's video recently about ugly bags that she would not buy. She mentioned that the bottom of the Gabrielle looks like a sanitary napkin. I think that's funny, but sure, the shape might look like it, but honestly, you don't think about it when you're wearing your bag. You don't really see it that way. I'm gonna put all my OOTD pictures and you guys be the judge of it. Like, let me know if you really feel like it's such an ugly bag. Honestly, I feel like it's such a pretty bag. It's not pretty like super feminine pretty, but it's very cool pretty. All in all, do I recommend this bag? And final thoughts, absolutely yes. I'm a huge fan of this bag, especially this size and color. Like I said, if you want to get just one, get this one. I highly recommend it. Yes, the price is going up, but if you keep waiting, it's just gonna keep going up, so you might as well get it now. Secondhand market, I see less of this size getting sold, or actually I should say I see less of this color getting sold in this size. This size might still get sold in the secondhand market, but a lot of them are like the suede one, or it might be like a weird color. I also really like the tweed one and the white one. But if you're gonna wear a lot crossbody like I do, and if you do wear a lot of black clothing or wool coats that is darker, I do recommend the black first. Maybe get a white one second. That would be something I would do. Wear and tear is absolutely fine. There's none so far anyway. And yeah, in terms of retail price, it's still reasonable. It's still in the Chanel reasonable price range. Honestly, if you're tired of classic flaps, then get a fun bag. This is a fun bag that is not only fun, but it's actually very practical. Did I mention that I travel with this bag a whole week straight, and this was the only handbag I had brought with me? Even with the traveling, I didn't inherit any of the wear and tear. Let's take a look at what's inside my bag and how I put it in. So on top is my sunglasses, and I have the glasses part facing down so that I can tuck it in and close it and zip it up. So as you can see, it fits really easily in there. I'll start from the back, which is my phone. I have the largest iPhone, which is the XS Max. Next, I have this pouch here, which has extra cards and money. It's very slim and flat. The key is putting flat things standing up. Next, I have two things standing up side by side, and that's my card case with my 6 key. Down in the corner over here, I have a little pouch thing. I just put all my miscellaneous. And then over here on the far inside corner, I have a snack. It's almost empty except for one more thing. My bag hanger, I always like having it around. This is the Clip-A 2. And it just is inside this slip pocket here, which I also tuck in the little clip thing in there because it just gets in the way. I never really use this lipstick holder thing. It just gets in the way as well. But I do use this one slip pocket. And in addition to that, there's also a zip pocket on this other side, the opposite side. It's not super deep, but it's usable. If you didn't find your answer in this video, I do encourage you to watch my first initial review, which is very thorough. Before I let you go, I just wanted to bring your attention to what I'm wearing, because you guys will probably ask me, but I do always link down below the links to the stuff that I'm wearing, including my makeup. So I am wearing my Resale earrings on one ear. Makeup is everything linked down below. I always wear the same stuff. This is the Balmain t-shirt, sleeveless one, red. I have my LV necklace here, and right here I have two really pretty fine jewelry. So it's two separate necklaces, and they're both gold plated on sterling silver, and they're super cute. I just love layering different pieces with my LV one. All right, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you're brand new here, I would love to have you back, so please do consider subscribing, liking, and commenting down below to let me know. And I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye!